Good evening, everyone. How are we doing today? I don't know, I hesitate when it comes to like direct lessons from people, but I feel it's a must. So I'm gonna see how far I can elaborate on a lesson that I've seen many times before, but every once in a while you kind of like hope people pull through. And I wonder how what my take about it would be. I s- I started with a very opinionated like thought process towards how I want to express what happened. But anyways, so there's this guy that basically works around the area. Young dude, I think about 24, 23, married. He has a kid, and now another one's coming on the way. So for me, that is a heavy responsibility. That is like, get your shit together kind of responsibility, right? For some reason, I don't think people like actually get that way. And it's funny now that I actually like started talking about it. I started remembering a few other people which took it differently. Like one person, when he got married, he just became more serious. He did nothing different. He just became more serious. Like he wore the identity of a married man. I'm a married man now, responsibility and stuff like this. But let me tell you the story first, and let's see what kind of lesson we can get out of it. The dude is always struggling. Like he really doesn't give a fuck. And his concept is chasing money. Now he's willing to do anything for money, but not one thing is actually ever consistent with him. And simple thing, like he'll come to you, be like, anything you want, just let me know. And you go like, all right, do this for me. The first time he does it correct. The second time, he's literally that example. Like the second time, he starts expecting it from you. He starts anticipating it, and the third time, he's expecting it. And then like, now that's a source of income for me, so I have to wait for this guy to ask me about A, B, C, D, and E. And from his perspective, that's how he gathers money around. Something huge happened. Like, I don't normally trust these people, but I think at a time where I'm kind of like down, I would want to rely on on my faith in the potential of humanity. Again, this is something that I actually like read in a manga somewhere. It's beautiful. Like the question goes, do you have faith in, you don't have faith in humanity? And he responds, no, but I have faith in the potential of humanity. And so the actual potential that people could always achieve is just like super beautiful. Yet that's the furthest thing from any reality that you could actually concede to. And so I was stuck around within my house and I wanted like kind of, it didn't matter how I cleaned my house, man. Like I really needed to take everything inside, put it under the sun for like 10 days after soaking it in like all kinds of soaps and washing it over and over and over again. And after it dried 10 days in a row after washing, then they would actually start feeling differently. I can't begin to explain the type of like, like my carpet, not my carpet, man. My couches have fleas, man, and different kinds of bugs. I looked at them; they're different sizes, so I don't really sit on them, right? And my bathroom is about 60 years old, which in the moment when I was actually like looking at the place, like it looked so cute, it just needed some work. I just did not understand how much work it needed. So I was like trying to go around within my budget and trying to see if I can actually like find people that are willing to do the job. And I found a few people that are good that can clean and everything like this. But something about this guy, man, made me want to be like, you know what, man? Why I trust you in my house when I'm not there. I've known you for a while, and he is trustworthy, right? Like he would not steal or any of that stuff. But he's completely unreliable. And I've always been under the belief like it's okay if you want to steal from me, I'll budget it. Just be reliable and get the job done. That's how I operated for 10 years in Liberia. Like I really tried to my best to like just I saw people that after like 50, 60 years were not able to accomplish anything in their lives, even though they consistently tried, mainly because most of their energy was like focused on making sure their money doesn't go missing or their stuff doesn't go missing. But a simple system will like budget for the stuff that goes missing and actually get work done and allows you to like move forward. But like people are unorganized, so you never know how it happened, and you can't look at anyone or blame anyone. It's just shit will actually disappear when a lot of factors are in it. Well, it also happens here a lot. Here a lot, even though we pretend to be more from a civilized perspective, where we have like business acumen and like auditing and accounting skills or the technology or whatever. But anyways, so I talked to this guy and I go like, I'm gonna go for 5 days and I'm gonna like head to the mountains. Kind of want you to look after my cats. He's like, sure, why not? And he looks at me, he goes like, while I'm at it, I'm gonna like help you with the house and kind of like give it a good clean. And I'm like, epic, not bad. Look at you taking the initiative. So I think I got excited for that. And in my head, I started planning, okay, now he can come every week. And if I travel, I'll be able to like trust him to come and feed the cats and. So I built this storyline with the hype of me being able to like take a break without feeling bad because like I love them. Like they're awesome and I want them to be satisfied, and it pisses me off that the house is really like not necessarily something that's decent enough for me or for them or for anyone to kind of like come and do something about it. And he goes and he says he did the job and he fed them and everything. I doubt he went all 6 days. I doubt. 5 days. I doubt. The only reason I doubt it is because he started the minute he saw me. He's like, I did this in the house, I did this in the house, and when I went to the house, he did shit. He just swept it once. He didn't even take the trash and throw it out. He just left it there. So it's like, how absent-minded can somebody be? Anyways, my lesson, man, is very, and that's what I'm fighting with right now, is the fact that whatever I learned is going to be harsh on people that kind of maintain that personality. And I'm trying to see if it's right for me to kind of like look at such personalities. And again, like the characteristics are a lot of things, are their activity, the way they speak, the way they put themselves there, the way they do a whole lot of stuff. Those are the characteristics. And as for me, I really have been trying not to be aggressive towards people. And I've been trying to be a lot more understanding of what they're going through and all these kinds of things. And again, I understand if somebody's upset 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. But Jimmy Carr, I don't know if anyone knows him. I love him. He's a comedian. He goes like, you could be upset, depressed, and people would understand why you're like kind of like not treating people around you right or correct. But 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, you're no longer sad, miserable, or depressed. You're just an asshole. And it's so fucking true. Like I get it, you're sad, but after there's always that threshold where like after you push it, you're like, no, I don't fucking care how sad you are anymore, man. You're being a cunt. You're using it. You're. And so for me, I'm trying to kind of like, I'm really trying not to judge, but it seemed like it can't be helped. Like these are things that are necessary. And the whole being humble and everything, I think that's definitely a part of being humble is understanding when you kind of like are not in sync with other people, where you realize that it's perfectly fine for you to not like somebody. It has nothing to do with you being judgmental or anything like that. You could literally genuinely just not like somebody. And you can be okay not liking them for many reasons and like maybe liking them for different reasons, or just you're free to kind of like want to be around people or include people in your life. Or even the simplest thing, like, I really do not care to actually help people like him. I feel like if you give them $1,000 today, they go missing. If you give them $5,000 today, they go missing. They would find a way to spend them, and tomorrow they go back to what they're doing. And that's something I really didn't want to see in people. I really wanted to believe that people could be a bit different. And you can't stereotype, but you characterize. You build like personas, you build portfolios, you build characters in your head. That's what your mind does. It kind of like constructs this reality and attaches it to familiar things. And the more present you try to be, the more that becomes a thing with you. The more you're kind of like more engaged with it, and the more people kind of like reveal themselves to you in the best of ways. And even when you're trying and you want to have faith and you sit with the people and to 1 hour, 2 hours, and they don't show any sign of like changing, and then they still want to spend that time with you, and you look at them and you go like, you're wasting my fucking time now. You're no longer sad, upset, or depressed. You're just a fucking asshole. I don't know. It's a lesson I already knew, but I think this right now I feel a bit more personal with it, and not for any other reason other than the fact that there are mistakes that I'll probably keep repeating, and I, as long as I'm able to like reflect on the way I'm willing to make the mistake instead of waiting for it to happen, then I'll be able to accept them as a pattern because every once in a while I'm going to want to believe in something or want to kind of like not necessarily be that guy that just says no or just says fuck off or just says you're an ass. I really think that's a legitimate thing to actually consider. It's just there are some things they're in your nature. I kind of think that's beautiful. I don't know. It's like I think that's kind of like cute, but I can't allow it to kind of like be more than what it is. And I have to understand such situations in the future in order for me to kind of like still maintain the part of myself that wants to look at people in a more like, hey, we're all in this together. We're trying to live. We're trying to survive. Instead of the people that really just don't want to take responsibility for shit or are unreliable. Thank you. Thank you.